So today we're talking about Megyn Kelly and farts. And I'm not being sophomoric to talk about this. I'm just telling you this is actually in the headlines today. I'm going to get several stories onto your radar, and it's good to know this stuff. Plus, Megyn Kelly is hilarious. I think you're going to see why. Buckle up. Here we go. Today's episode is brought to you by Hidden Hybrid Holsters. This is an AIWB for Glock 19. And this, if you can see, they're identical, but this is for the 43X. Super well made, and I do mean that. I mean, they are made really, really well. You're going to see that immediately. I've had a lot of y'all holler at me and say, hey, Johnny, wow. Like, when you get them in the mail, you go, wow, like when you feel it. Super well made. It's made by Craftsman in Canton, Ohio, and the leather comes from the Amish. Pick yours out today when you head over to hiddenhybridholsters.com. You people, thank you for every thumbs up right down below. Thank you for that. Appreciate y'all. Ready? All right, I do a show over on the Warrior Poet Society Network, and some of y'all are over there, and some of y'all subscribe. Everything today is from my end of season 2 over there that I think comes out tomorrow, but this kind of gives you a little taste of what we talk about over there. And I saw these stories. I got to the end of filming season 2 this morning, and then I was like, I need to holler at y'all and just let you know a few of these. Megyn Kelly, y'all know who she is. She's over on Sirius XM now. Rush Limbaugh called her an info babe, or that she calls all of them info babes, which was interesting, but I think Megyn Kelly is more than just a pretty face. She said this, and it's a pretty short story here, came out yesterday, video. Megyn Kelly calls Kamala Harris a moron and says Joe Biden is knocking on the Grim Reaper's door. We need more calling out like that and just calling things the way they are. I saw Sniffin' Joe today signing something. They put it in front of him and go, sign here, Joe. And he dawdles and signs it. And nobody will touch it. No one will touch it. The media these days are worthless. It's true. A couple other things. One is this story that came out yesterday. Chinese hackers raided the U.S. government email accounts by exploiting Microsoft Cloud bugs. There's a bug in the Microsoft Cloud, and it looks like the Chinese hackers have hacked some email accounts from the U.S. State Department. But don't worry, Adam Hodge is on the job. He's a spokesperson for the White House's National Security Council. He confirmed it, and he said, hey, there's an intrusion in Microsoft's cloud security. We contacted Microsoft to find the source and vulnerability. We continue to hold procurement providers to a high security threshold. They get hacked, and he says we continue to hold them to a high threshold. I'm going to tell you this about the progressives, about this administration. They don't care if China gets info. In fact, they prefer it that way. Do you think it was an accident that Hillary literally smashed those servers with a hammer, or had those servers smashed with a hammer? They want that info out there. Make it as easy as possible. Over on the network, I use the word Marxism. Yeah, it's true. All right, two more today. The oversight of the Federal Bureau of Investigation. What that was a hearing yesterday on Capitol Hill by the House Judiciary Committee. It's 6 hours long. What they did, and they called it, it's the House Judiciary Committee, but they called it the oversight of the Federal Bureau of Investigation. They're overseeing them. The FBI has been weaponized, if not for years, for decades, or vice versa. And what they did is they got Director Wray, that's the head cheese of the FBI. They got him in front, and they started grilling him with questions. They talked about the Mar-a-Lago raid. They talked about parents being targeted at school board meetings, and then also about all of the Fed agents that were at the J6 insurrection. And they grilled him. They grilled him pretty hard. And you see that and you're like, yeah, this is good. Is it really? Let's let former Governor Christie put this into words. Chris Christie says the GOP reps grilling FBI director are just trying to raise money for campaigns. Let's talk about farts. All right, so RFK Jr. has been taking the world by storm. People are talking about him. He is, and I said this on the network, he is doing the push-ups in public and getting swole, and he is doing it to juxtapose himself, to separate himself from that dawdling old man shuffling around in the sand. And he's done a really, really good job of it. And I think it's the right move. I like it. I don't like his anti-2A stance. That's to be clear. So this headline comes out yesterday, and it says, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. press dinner explodes in war of words and farting. And I'm like, is that a euphemism? Oh no. Page 6 regrets to report that a press dinner to boost RFK Jr.'s presidential campaign descended into a foul bout of screaming and polemic farting Tuesday night. And they put that out there. And it's a real headline. Now, remember this. Nobody reads articles anymore. They read the headline and believe everything. And we make our judgment just based on the headline. And this comes out and they said, we got farting. And I read paragraph 1. Hey, they're farting at the press meeting. Paragraph 2, press dinner farts. Press 3, press dinner farts. Paragraph 4, 5, 6, press dinner, the farting and RFK Jr. That's all about the farts. Lots of farts going on. You've got to read way down, and then it goes, yeah, there was this octogenarian dude. He's in his 80s. He was asleep at the event. He's an art critic, has nothing to do with RFK Jr. He's just there. He woke up and he passed gas. He's 80-something. Cut him some slack. That's it. The point of talking about this is the progressive media, will do anything to attack the other side. It's funny that RFK Jr., a lifelong Democrat, is now the other side. He is their opposition at this point until the preliminary election is over. The primaries are over. So, interesting. I'll be back tomorrow with Spicy Friday. Got a hot one for you tomorrow, and I always say that. Woof, woof. It's going to be good. See you then.